my friends, welcome back to another episode of Rogue Tower with me, Notorious BLT. So, we're starting... I basically just hit the button, so you're not missing anything, you know? Y'all know what's up. I feel it. I know you do. What the fuck was that? My desktop just went nuts. What? Game, are you breaking things? What are you doing? That is a lot of shit coming our way. Holy fuck. I mean, this is still probably the scariest. Because, like, the stuff that's super far away is, like, whatever. You know? The planes can take care of a lot of that. It's this shit that scares the hell out of me. Holy fucking goddamn. Strangely enough, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I'm gonna jack up your... Oh, fuck! Oh, fucking Jesus Christ! Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and it may not seem like super, like, pog strats, but, like, I'll tell you what, man. I'm feeling okay about it. That probably doesn't give anybody any kind of sense of, like, yay, but it certainly makes me feel better. I probably should have been putting that in here, huh? Yeah! Sense of yay? We're certainly not talking about Kanye West. Also, like, holy shit, man. I never really liked Kanye West, or, you know, like, gave a shit about his music, but, like, holy fuck, that dude turned out to be a real piece of shit. Like, who would have thought that when you are constantly receiving, you know, praise about nothing... Not that... Okay, I shouldn't say that, because, like, apparently his music is very good, I just never really gave a shit about it. But, like, when you're told that you're a genius all the time, like, it's gonna fucking melt your brain, you know? It's gonna infect you with brain worms of a caliber that you cannot get rid of, you know? Like, it's bad. And, you know, if you like his music, like, whatever, you know? But, like, I don't know. I can't... It's not for me. Is I guess what I'm saying. Can you go to 137 or somebody give me money somewhere, please? If you know what I'm talking about, apparently he's, like... This was some time ago, by now, by the time you guys are seeing this, I think this was, like, a couple weeks ago, that he just, like, started saying a bunch of weird anti-Semitic shit. It was, like, crazy, like, Nazi, Republican, like, conservative talking points. Just, like, the stuff that you hear, like, weirdos like Candace Owens and people like that saying. Which, you don't know who Candace Owens is? Like, you're probably better off not knowing. She's a weirdo, but, like... You know, I just, like... And if this turns you off, like, you know, like, you're talking about politics, I hate it, and you're talking bad about the side that I'm on, then honestly, if I'm talking bad about the side you're on, like, that maybe some reflection is good, you know? Like, it's the whole reason why I decided that on the Twitch channel I wouldn't shy away from talking politics, because the way I see it is, like, if what I'm saying makes you uncomfortable, that's not a me problem. You know, like, because I try to advocate for, like, you know, being kind and respectful towards everybody, unless you have already shown that you do not deserve that respect. And one of the ways you do that is by, holy shit, man, you got a lot of help. Is by you know, thinking that certain groups of people should be treated poorly because of, like, who they are. You know, which is no good. You know, if you start with hate, then, like, if you start with hate, mate, then you kind of deserve what you get. You know what I'm saying? I think you do. So wait, what do we got here? I thought I'd focus one of you guys on health. Did not? Yeah, it's you. Alright. That's fine. And you're not really focused... But yeah, you're kind of focused on health, I guess. Alright, this seems to be going better, but goddamn, this is, like, scary. I'm gonna put another shredder in here. Yeah, jack up that health damage. Yeah, I don't like that you guys are making it so far. What are you doing? Right, I jacked up your shield damage. Why did I do that? I don't know. It's like, whatever, man. Yeah, I guess, like, I've lost a lot of patience with, like, you know, the, not moderates in general, just, like, people that are, like, they take a neutral stance no matter what. It's like, that can't, And a big part of that is, like, a big part of why I feel that way is that, you know, both of my parents are first generation, or not, well, I shouldn't say that. I am first generation. Both my parents are immigrants. They both came from other countries. And so, like, you know, when people were like, you know, oh, I just don't talk about politics or whatever, it's like, okay, so you're actually okay with people, like, you know, advocating for genocide. That's kind of fucked. You know, like, it kind of opened my eyes. Like, if I'm being real, it was like kind of the Trump era where, which I guess we're still in, which is really gross and I hate, but, you know, here we are. Where people are basically like, you know, for example, I saw this thing where, like, these fucking weirdos were actually advocating for microwaving illegal immigrants to see if that would kill COVID. And it's just like, you're advocating for torture and genocide, my man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, and then people are like, well, you know, they just have a different opinion. It's like, that's not a different opinion. That's a violent, like, horrible opinion. I don't know how we can sit here and be like, well, but their opinions are valid. Like, no, not all opinions are valid. That one is certainly not. You know, I'm not going to sit here and entertain the idea that that's a totally valid opinion. Like, oh, well, you know, you just need to, like, try to see it from their perspective. Like, no, I will never see it from that perspective. I don't think that shit should happen to anybody. Ever. You know? Like, why? Why would we think that that's okay? It's never okay. You know, even if somebody has done horrible shit in the past, it doesn't mean that, like, they're, you know, beyond, obviously I'm not talking about, like, immigrants, because, like, you know, as an example here, you know, one of my previous supervisors at a job said something along the, like, you know, we were talking, and he's a conservative, and I only say that to, like, kind of illustrate the point here, is, you know, he was like, well, I don't understand people that, you know, how the fuck did this conversation go? Now I have to try to remember, hang on. Because I feel like the order of how things were said is fairly important, but maybe it's not, I don't know. It was something along the lines of, like, you know, I was saying, like, it pisses me off when people are like, you know, oh, well, immigrants that, like, come across the border are bad parents. And he was like, well, and I was like, there is no well, dude. It's either, like, you're basically either being a racist asshole or you're not, you know? Like, if you're saying well, then you're saying well about my parents and my grandparents. You know, like, it's... because my grandparents had to send my dad and his brother to the United States before they could come over here, because that was just one of the restrictions at the time. Like, they could only send so many people, and, you know, so it like, when he said that, it was like, so you're telling me that, like, my family is full of horrible people and bad parents because they made a horrible decision, like a decision that was not easy, by the way. I feel like that's one of the main cruxes of a lot of this is, like, people for some reason think that, like, these kinds of things are super easy decisions to make, and they're not. It's kind of the same thing with abortion laws and stuff like that. Like, I don't understand how people look at this and they're like, oh, well, you know, they seem to be under the impression that it's like a fucking spa day, where it's like, oh yeah, you know, it's like you're just going to get your hair done. Like, no, it's a horrible, terrible decision to make, and now you're trying to make it worse? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, like, why do that? Why try to make things worse for somebody who's already in a bad position? You know, like, we should be doing things to help people. And if you're curious about my stance on abortion laws and such, I feel that they should be accessible and not, you know, like, legislated against, because people will just go and get, you know, back alley abortions, and you're just basically, by trying to ban abortions, you're literally just causing more harm than good. You are hurting more people than you are, you know, causing babies to be born, because people will just find another way. Like, you know, you're basically forcing people to take on more fiscal responsibility, while also making it harder to have that fiscal responsibility be, like, something that's easily obtainable. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it doesn't make any fucking sense. From a humanist perspective, it is, to ban, like, access to medical care of any kind is fucking ridiculous. And, you know, like, if you disagree, we can talk. That's fine. I'm not going to be one of these people who's like, you know, I mean, I may say it that way because I feel very passionate about this stuff, but, you know, I may say things like, if you disagree, you're fucking wrong. But I'm more than happy to explain why. Because, like, I guess the main part of that I see is, like, No organism has any right to another organism's body ever. You don't have the right to, like, no organism has the right to use another organism's body without consent. You know, and you can say, well, you know, in the natural world that's different. Like, yeah, in the natural world that's very different. However, we live in, you know, a civilization that we have created for ourselves. What the hell is your name? Descartes? Descartes? I don't know why I was sounding so shocked about Descartes for a moment there. But, you know, like, we live in not the natural world, you know what I mean? Like, we are in a completely different setup. You know, like, we have built buildings, we have done all these other things. When y'all killed Descartes there? Thanks. No, we don't actually have frozen stuff, but, I mean, more shield damage is great, though. Right, we need more mana. You know, so, like, I don't know how anybody can say otherwise, honestly. Like, what use case is there, you know, because, like, if you're like, oh, well, you know, but, you know, you had sex, and it's like, okay, but you ate a bad fucking, you know, egg salad sandwich from a gas station, and now you have tapeworms. You can't get rid of it now, alright? How's that? You know, like, it's kind of the same, right? You know, like, if you're like, well, you have to pay the consequences of your actions. You have to pay the consequences of being an idiot and eating something that's been sitting in a fucking drawer in somebody's underpants for, like, you know, 20 years. And then you're like, yeah, I'll buy that from a gas station. Okay, this is getting into territory where I'm like, you know, making gas stations sound bad. Gas stations, you just don't get food from there. That's all I'm saying, alright? In addition to all the other shit that I'm saying. But, like, yeah, it's just... I don't think I've ever heard a decent argument against this, like, the way that I'm talking about it right now. You know, like, I've never heard anybody say something that is actually convincing the other way. As in, you know, like, oh, well, somebody should have the right. Like, okay, why? Because if you say that, then that means that, like, I can just take your liver. Not because I need it, just because I want it. You know, like, if you're giving somebody the right to use somebody else's body, then that's kind of the consequence. You know, like, it turns into this ridiculousness, which we should try to avoid at all costs, I feel. You know, just like, I don't know, man. And also, when I get riled up, it's very, and also, keep in mind, I'm also trying to concentrate on playing the game at the same time. When I get all riled up, it's very hard for me to, like, organize my thoughts, especially in situations like this, like I said, where I'm playing a video game, and it's like, I'm trying to concentrate on that at the same time as doing those other shit. So, it becomes difficult to, like, really, oh, I didn't realize I could do this, but, you know, I mean, we're already at the end, like, what does it matter? We're gonna have 1 health? I don't think so. It's, you know, it becomes difficult to, like, really concentrate on what it is that I'm doing, or, like, the subject at hand, which is also one of the reasons why, like, oftentimes, like, when I'm streaming and people bring up these complicated issues, I am more than happy to address them and, like, talk about them. But also, like, I try to caution people in saying, like, you know, understand that, like, you're not going to get the best out of me in terms of, like, arguments, etc., because you're, you know, I'm trying to do multiple things at once, and you aren't, you know? So, like, if what we're really after is, like, you want to have this, like, in-depth discussion, I am totally down for that. 1,000,000%. But it also must be understood that, like, you know, if that's what you want, I gotta stop and, like, put thought into things instead of just, like, you know, running my mouth like I usually do. So, there you go. I need more money. Yeah, I need more money. Who wants to talk about healthcare next? Sorry, probably nobody. Everybody's probably like, oh, fuck, I didn't want to talk about serious shit, but here we are, dude, you know, like, and I'll try to put as much, like, semi-comedic sauce on it as I can, but it's not, I don't always succeed, you know, that's how things go sometimes. You don't always get what you want, but sometimes something, whatever you need, you know? However the song goes. Holy fuck, I hate these cubes. Wait, the cubes? Oh, right, the cubes don't descend into other stuff, they, what do they do? They make enemies or something? They spawn more shit? The fuck, man, I don't remember. What do you do? Who is your Cthulhu and what does he do? No, that's a terrible joke. I'm sorry, Arnold. I didn't mean it. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of eyeballs. Holy fuck. You know what? Let's do it. Hey, it's a chest. What you got for me? Sure. Wasn't there a tree around here somewhere? Yeah, I guess, like, for me, the crux of everything is, like, I'm a humanist at heart. Like, I will always... Oh, well, alright, sure, whatever, I'll take it. It's not like it's gonna help me, but here we are. Let's go. Okay, maybe this wasn't so bad. It kind of sucks. Yeah, it kind of sucks. So, like, you know, I want people to, at base, be treated with respect until they demonstrate that they shouldn't be, right? You know? So, like, until... when someone starts, what is that saying from the Bible? It's like, let he who's without sin cast the first stone or whatever. So, like, you know, if you're not being a butthole, like, you know, then fine. But at the moment you start being a butthole to other people for, like, you know, some dumbass reason, you know, or actually not even for some dumbass reason, but the second you start being a butthole to other people, then I'm like, you lost me, dude. You know. Like, if you're like, these people should be treated like garbage because, you know, they look different or, like, they sound different from me, then I'm like, alright, how about you just, like, jump into a rocket that's going to the sun and, like, go there, you know, and start your own little colony on the giant molten ball of garbage in the sky. Or, well, in space, which is, I guess, in the sky in a way. I don't know, it just, when somebody says in the sky, it makes me think of, like, something that's placed there, which is, like, that's weird stuff. You know? And one of the reasons that I say I'm always welcome to, like, talk to people about stuff like this is because while I definitely believe that I am right, I am more than willing to have these conversations because the way I see it is that even if the other person has, like, better talking points or whatever, which is something that I find ridiculous. Like, it shouldn't be about who has better talking points. It should be about who is, you know, like, about what side makes the most sense in terms of, like, our goals, which our goal should be to help as many people as possible and to be as pogged as possible, right? Where was I going with this? Fuck. Whatever, I don't remember. What was I saying? Actually, that's a lot of fucking money. Holy shit, man. That's a lot. That's a hell of a lot. Wait, why are you... Oh, that's collected, right. That's no wonder it's different. Fuck, what the hell was I saying? Shit, I almost want to go back and, like, look at the recording and then, like, fucking determine what that was that I was saying. Oh, right, so the way I see it is, like, every, like, failed, like, every time that I have a conversation with somebody and I feel like I didn't do as well as I could have, I can't see the mouse. That, to me, is an opportunity to sharpen my skills, right? So, by making mistakes and, you know, I guess, like, losing the conversation, I guess you could put it. That sounds fucking weird, but here we are. Then, you know, that allows me to sharpen my skills further, to be better the next time and more convincing, you know? And also sometimes, like, I find that a lot of times when I feel like I have not done well, when I go back and look at, like, some of the points that I don't want to call it an opponent, because a lot of times, like, these are conversations that I have with, like, friends and stuff. Oh, there's a mini-boss? Cool. I'll take that. You know, I go back and look and it's like, this person was actually horribly mistaken. You know? So, it's not always, like... I don't even know what the fuck I'm trying to say anymore. It also... So, it allows for more sharpening of, like, you know, your mind, in that you can also find more things to, kind of, like... Wow, man, you got a lot of fucking health, dog. What am I trying to say here? Getting distracted by enemies. You gain more knowledge by looking into these things and, like, finding out more, and, you know, it just you become better off. You know what I'm saying? Is it okay? Big Brain Oogie's still running around doing his thing, so that's nice. You guys are doing a lot of damage. How much damage are you doing? You're also level 19? God damn. I mean, you're fucking ripping this dude to shreds. What did I... Oh, right, your health. Right. But you're also doing kind of okay damage to other stuff. I'm so glad these Cthulhu boys don't, like, just degrade into, like, their other forms. Like, you know, the cube doesn't turn into the portal doesn't... Or, like... The cube doesn't turn into two portals. The two portals don't each turn into two beholders, and the beholders don't turn into eyeballs. Well, I mean, the beholders do turn into eyeballs, but yeah. Well, I guess in this case, really, it's more that the portal spits out other enemies, right? Yeah. Yeah. So it's worse in some ways and not as bad in others? Like, do you, like, periodically spit them out, or is it when you hit... No, I think it's when you hit certain health thresholds. Unlike the tank. I think that's one of the things that makes a tank so horrible, right? Is that it just constantly farts out enemies. Alright, so what did we... Death taxes was 1%. That's not great. I wonder why people say that these are so good. Well, that's still like a pretty good return, right? Yeah. What did we have that did the most damage? I mean, holy fuck, dude, the radar. God damn. Oh no, that's damage per gold spent. Where's it? Okay, you did second most. Wait, no, second most? Okay, dots. I mean, dots are pretty much always going to have the highest amount of damage, I think. So really, it was the frost keeps that did the most damage. But wait, because yeah, that's like 2 million. No, that's 21 million. This is 8 million. This is 9 million. So yeah, they didn't do the most damage, but they did do a lot of single target damage, which is what we were after. And I feel like that actually shows quite a bit, you know, of like how good the planes and like single target stuff is. And we didn't even put any levels into them, which is even more impressive, I feel. Yeah. All right, folks, so that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you all did enjoy it. And if you did, you know what to do. That is me from me, Notorious BLT. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye, folks.